Welcome back to the channel. Brian from Apex Auction Car Reconditioning. One of the first things we're going to do here, we're going to do this today, we're going to restore the headlights. I can't stand looking at a car with foggy headlights. I also want them brighter at nighttime so I can see on the way home. I'm going through a lot of back roads, deer crossing, rodents, you name it. I like to be able to see with some bright headlights. This isn't cutting it. Let's get to work. Seems like every make and model, it doesn't matter what it is, has this failing layer, yellowing layer of protectant over the plastic. This one, just like the others, is starting to, well, it has failed. And you can see the line of where the original coating has worn away up here, left this little spot. So every headlight restoration is just a little bit different. This one here, we're gonna have to get quite aggressive with this area here and here to remove it completely. So we'll start off with aggressive sandpaper. It's gonna add a step because we're gonna have to step down. We're gonna use aggressive sandpaper to get rid of this garbage, and then a couple steps after that to refine the sand marks until our eyes can't see them anymore. And then we'll polish and protect them, and they will be good for as long as anybody owns this car. Well, especially with the mileage that it has on it. Let's pop the hood here. That's one little section. Just by popping the hood, we don't have to worry about. The surrounding sections, we are going to protect, even though this paint is shot, but just good practice to do on any vehicle if you're going to restore the headlights. And that will protect the surrounding areas, whether they're plastic, trim, painted areas, keeps them protected from the sand discs or any type of polishing pad, backing plate from rubbing up against the surrounding areas and causing any type of damage. This little bit of extra care can save a lot of headaches in the end. Don't ask me how I know. And that's all you have to do. You don't have to tape it like we're painting the vehicle. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just needs to protect a little bit. Normally, if these were just lightly yellowed or hazed over, a little bit of oxidation, I'd start off with 1000 grit. That will easily shave the light oxidation. With the failure of the original coating, spotty in areas, we're gonna get aggressive and remove it without wasting time, be effective, get it done in a timely manner. So we're gonna break out the 600 grit. And as I mentioned, because this is aggressive, it's going to add an extra step because we're going to have to step down. Can't just go from 600 grit to polishing. You will immediately see this brown yellow garbage, which is the failing coating, run down the headlight, because this grit gets to work quickly. You're going to see me flushing the area regularly. Keeps the sandpaper effective. You let it get clogged up with all the garbage from this headlight, it's not going to work after a while. I'm going to keep sanding until I see, you can see the areas that still have that old coating on them. I'm going to keep going until I do not see that anymore, and then we're going to go to the next step. In between steps, this is just a rinseless wash. And as always, I love to wet sand so it keeps that dust from getting airborne. I do this before even washing the car because this crap is going to run down the entire front of the car and splash up. So I'll do this before the wash process. Next step coming right up. And the next step is going to be refining the sand marks now. We've already done the heavy lifting, the hard work. The 600 grit did that. So now all we're concentrating on is refining the area as we step down. My next step is going to be 1000 grit. Doing this all by hand today, no machines, no need for machines. These headlights are a small area. You can get it done by hand. So fold up the sheet until you're comfortable with the size, and then start sanding. Now, what I could tell you is this sediment or this residue running down is white. We are down to clear, clean plastic now, and we just need to refine those scratches. And the headlight should clear up slightly between each step from now on. Headlight restoration, there is no excuse. Nobody should be doing this for you. You should be doing this yourself and saving a couple $100. Or you could start this as a side business and make some pretty good money, because these failing headlights are everywhere. Just start looking next time you're out and about driving around. It will amaze you. Walking through a parking lot, check out the cars. Headlights will be cloudy. That is a lot of money to be made. If it's a side gig, it's all you would need to supplement the income. That's going to be good. I'm going to flush this area, wipe it down. You can already see it's starting to clear up little by little here. My next step is going to be 2000 grit. And 2000 grit will really start to clear up these headlights here. And again, we've already done the hard work. All we need to do is do some clearing and refining. You can already have these sheets soaking if you're doing the wet sand method. You can also do them dry. If you're outside and it doesn't matter what type of dust you make, no need to wet sand. For me, I just like it because it contains the garbage that's coming off of these headlights. Ends up on a little puddle on the floor down there. And that I can mop up in seconds. The dust getting airborne, well, that's just a little bit more work for me to do to chase that down. These should turn out looking pretty damn good. Very good. Really starting to clear up now. On to the next step. For this next step, I'm going to bring in the rotary and a wool pad, and we'll protect from there. The protection of choice, we're not going to need to perfect it with, a cutting and then a medium and then a finished compound. We'll be just fine with what we have here. I don't mean to cross in front of you, but I do have to see what I'm doing here. I know you can see this. This looks good already, doesn't it? Well, we're not done yet. We're going to use my favorite type of protection when it comes to headlights, and that's paint protection film. All right. So we have the slip solution on there. We spray it on top. This is warm. Helps me with positioning and stretching. That's where I want it, in this area. So what I'm going to do is get my tack solution and tack the film so it stays while I can stretch. And I'm going to do that in this area right here. Not the headlight itself, but I'm tacking to the surrounding area. If you tacked it here and then stretched it, you're going to have a stretch line right here. You're going to have a work mark. Not good. So you want to tack it here, and stretch, and then the whole thing will stretch as a whole. Tack it down, and it'll look nice and clean. So, slip solution was rinsed away by the tack solution here, and now we stretch. And we've now tacked it to the paint on this side. So we got our stretch, nothing attached to the headlight, so there won't be a pull mark or a line or a work line. And now we just squeegee over the headlight, get rid of that moisture, any air pockets, get it attached to the plastic. And now that we have it attached to the plastic, now we can pull this area back up here. We don't need this anchor point anymore. And get our corners. And do the same thing here. And now we have it attached all the way down to the corners. And now we just wait until it dries out enough where we can trim the edges. That has a pretty decent stretch to it, so we're going to let that dry out for a good hour or two. With the edges of the headlight relatively dried out, we could do some trimming. We just use our red dot knife here. If I can remember, I will try and put a link down for these red dot knives and the blades. Got to order the blades as well. They are fantastic. And will help you with your precision cutting and trimming. If you ever wanted to try paint protection film, they're a must. I laid film down on a scrap hood so I could practice doing what I'm doing here with the knife. And it took quite a bit of cutting to get used to this, scoring the film without cutting all the way through into the material below, which is very important. It takes a little bit of time, a little bit of practice, but if I can do it, my gosh, if I can do it, you can do it. And you can see, it's not just falling off. I have to actually pull the film away from its cut because I'm just scoring the top of the film, the plastic, not the adhesive layer below. And voila. Now, from pulling the edges of the film, I do need to get my squeegee and go over those edges one more time. And we're done. The thing I'd like to show you with this headlight restoration, and I didn't with the others, is when you have quite the stretch on a piece of film, you want to bake the edges. So put it on low, keep it about 5-6 inches away from the film, and go back and forth all the way around the edges. This will help seal in all that goodness. You can use your glove to push any fingers down if there is any, and then break it. Shake it and bake it. And you are finished. If you have an area that's giving you problems, put your finger on it, count to 15, and you're done. So much better. Again, I can't stand the way the headlights look cloudy, but now they're so much brighter and safer at nighttime. What do you think? We can get home safe now? You ready to go bye-bye? Want to go for a walk? All right, well, we have to clean up. We have a hell of a mess here, and then we can go for a walk. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Another successful headlight restoration. You do it this way, you're not going to have to worry about them again as long as you own it. Brian from Apex Auction Car Reconditioning. If you have any questions at all on the process, this was a little different than the last one. There's slight differences when it comes to approach on a headlight depending on how bad it is. But if you have any questions or comments, down in the comment section, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.